Hello, everyone. I'm Justine with State of Grace Tarot, and today I wanted to do a reading for the February new moon. One thing that I really like about new moons and following the moon cycles is, the new moon is a time when the earth is standing between the sun and the moon, and so it's completely dark. It's a good time to set intentions and plant seeds. And I think, this with this new moon being towards the end of February, it's even more so a time to, look back and reflect and see what the new moon and the next month has to bring us as we move into March. February is almost behind us, and now it's time to start looking forward into what our goals and plans are for March. It's also a really good time to take a moment and meditate and daydream and set plans. So I really, enjoy the new moon energy. One of the things I want to start out with is, kind of pulling an oracle card from um, the Starseed Oracle and see what energies that we're dealing with during this time and what message we have that we can take with us during this reading. So let's pull a card here. So we have You Got the Love, Hadarian Energy, Codependency, Boundaries. So this card is, all about knowing that you have love, but not losing yourself in that love, being separate, you know, making sure you establish boundaries, don't necessarily lose yourself in relationships, and be codependent with a loved one. This could also be work related. Maybe you tend to be a workaholic and lose yourself in work to the detriment of other things. So this is really a calling to, at this time, to, take a step back, make sure that we're establishing those boundaries, and in order for the relationships to flourish and grow, and not losing ourselves and not being able to see the borders between ourselves and others, or ourselves and work, and really being able to stand on our own and feeling comfortable in that. So for the new moon spread I like to use, it's more of a pyramid spread. Uh-oh, the card that's flipped over. And I really like this pyramid, because, new moons are a time for building and planting the seeds and laying the foundation. And pyramids are strong, stable, and aspirational in their creation. All right, so in our first position, we're looking for what is ready to be created and planted. And that is strength. How can we bring this about? It is the 10 of Pentacles. Where will I see or notice? the Hierophant. How will I feel internally? The Ace of Swords. Where should we focus our energy? The Queen of Pentacles. What action should be taken? The Eight of Cups. What needs to be let go of? What do we need to move past? The Seven of Swords. And what's our possible outcome? Judgment. So when we think about it being time to look and make sure we're creating boundaries, what's ready to be created and planted right now is our strength. It's going to take some strength and commitment internally for us to create these boundaries, to be able to truly reflect and look back and see, where we might be losing ourselves a little bit, and taking a moment to reflect on that. How can we bring about, how can we create this strength? We have the Ten of Pentacles, which to me, this card here is about unity and legacy. So really looking at your support group and looking at all of those around you that can help you maybe give some perspective. Maybe it's, looking at how far and how you've come and how successful you have been to this point. We can look at that and enable us to have strength, that we can stand on our own a little bit. Where will we see or notice? We have the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is typically about a spiritual leader or someone who can give you guidance, someone or something that has structure, and that, it deals more with the rules and actual structure, whereas, like the High Priestess is more internal connection to the universe. The Hierophant is more of a teacher in a very structured way. So where will we see this or notice it might be in an area that there is a little bit more structure and able to create boundaries. Maybe you have to be more structured in that thought and need to, I would say, be disciplined and methodical. Maybe if it's with somebody, maybe it's drawing up some rules, getting alignment on how you're going to operate more going forward, and really, sticking to those boundaries. Maybe it's getting some guidance. Maybe you'll reach out to a therapist. Maybe that would be good, to have somebody help you and you'll see it. Maybe this is actually seeing somebody, seeing them, noticing them, taking the step to do that. How will we feel internally? We have the Ace of Swords, which is the swords are all about the mind, and the Ace of Swords, is encompasses the whole entire spectrum of what the swords can be. Internally, we might feel like there's a storm inside of us. It might be challenging, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. It might be hard. We might battle ourselves internally. It might take a lot in order for us to be able to communicate the boundaries that we need in order to break out of this codependent cycle. But in the end, we'll get there and it will be very freeing. We can see that up here in the Judgment card as the outcome. Where we need to focus our energy for this is the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm really sorry if you can hear my tummy growling. It happens, y'all. The Queen of Pentacles, she's very earthy and domestic. She's covered in her wealth and, cares about the one she loves. She's the homemaker. So we need to focus our energy at home is what this is telling me. Like, how can we make our home lives better? How can we open our doors and care for others without losing ourselves? Like, we can care, we can give, but our work, our strength has gotten us somewhere, and we need to remember that we're the queens of our own castles, and we have it in us to share the wealth, but not to give ourselves away completely. If we look at the actions to be taken, we have the Eight of Cups, which, in this circumstance, it's, maybe walking away. Like if somebody is not honoring your boundaries, maybe it's time to take a moment to pause, to reflect, to walk down a path. Like, what does it look like if you were to walk away from somebody or something? How does that make you feel? Maybe it's moving forward in your relationship, but leaving behind all the negative energies. It's a journey. So it's not going to be just an automatic upheaval. Like, you're going to have to go down this path. You're going to have to take the steps in order to be able to make changes in your life. We have an eclipse here in the Eight of Cups, talking about transitions. So, as we go through this new moon energy, as we plant the seeds, what transitions are we going to have to go through in order to establish these healthy boundaries? It's a good question to ask ourselves. And what we need to let go of or move past, we also have movement here. We have movement in the Eight of Cups. We have movement in the Six of Swords. This is about, moving on. So maybe there's something that we need to just move on from if we're not able to establish these healthy boundaries. We're moving on to a calmer place. We're walking away from this city that's on fire and taking our energy, our swords, our thoughts. We're taking those and moving on to a better place. We can go and we can live in peace if only we let go of the chaos and the codependency that we've been holding on to. And then we get to the possible outcome, which is judgment, a beautiful card, right? It's it's a rebirth. Everything that we've done to get to this place is coming back to us. All the work that we're being called to put in is going to give us a sigh of relief at the end, hopefully. And, maybe it'll feel like we're drowning in our emotions, but there's hope. There's a path forward. We just need to reach for it in order to actually be able to achieve it. So that's the message that I'm getting for the new moon this month. Let me know your thoughts, and how you all are looking forward and looking ahead to this next month. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you again soon.